I normally don't ask things from God, and as wrong as I know this to be, it's how I operate. When I do ask for something, it's when I desperately need it and I can't do it on my own. But oftentimes, I fall into self-sufficiency because I prove to myself that I'm able to get by. I'm no longer okay with just getting by. I want something more from my life, which now leaves the jumping point where now I have to ask from God things that I normally wouldn't. And it's very uncomfortable because I realize that God's not a genie. It's ultimately up to Him whether you get the thing that you're asking for or not. And this is something I need to work through because there's been countless times where I ask for something. Now, mind you, it probably wasn't the most holy or righteous thing to ask for, but I asked nonetheless, and I didn't receive it. So in my mind, it's like, okay, well, if you're not gonna give me this, I can just get it myself.
I have my issues with Jesus. There's a lot of stuff I went through that I prayed and I didn't see Jesus show up. Christians, we depend on Jesus so much that we won't put the word in ourselves. And the main thing that really that I don't rock with is like, I'm gonna pray for you. And it's just like, you can actually physically do something yourself too.
God to me was never somebody who I had to submit to. If I'm being honest, He was somebody who was supposed to give me something exactly when I wanted it. And if He didn't give me it, it was punishment for a sin that I did or me not going to church on Sunday. And in return, all I would do is just act without Him. If you're not gonna give me something, then I can go ahead and find my own way to it. It's like we throw it and we're like, hey God, I just thought you should know I've been wanting this. If you can give it to me, great, but if not, I'm gonna just go do it anyways. And after learning about Job and how he would request and he stayed faithful all throughout, even after losing his whole life, not his actual life, but everything that made his life worth living, he still stayed true. And he still praised God even when he was tempted by the devil to not. But how we're brought up to think is as if God is a genie. And if He was a genie, we would never have to be in anguish because before we reach rock bottom, we can just call on God and He would answer us immediately right when we want it. But that's not the case. It's not the case for Ye, and it wasn't the case for Job either. So what makes me so special to get mad at God when I don't get something that I want?